Now, from Nebraska's trusted news source, this is Channel 8 News at 10.
You are asking for unlimited money for bombs when people can't feed their families.
Coming up tonight, wallet war. How much money the U.S. has spent on the war in Iran and how much more they're asking for to fund the military. But first, who put that there? That's the question we're answering for our viewers tonight as speculation swirls around this new billboard in the capital city. And that's where we begin tonight. New at 10, a new billboard in Lincoln is making some people raise their eyebrows. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Rod Fowler. Here's the billboard in question. Have you seen it? This video was sent into our Now Local News app by citizen journalist Brian. A lot of you are wondering who put it up, so we did some research. Why does gas cost more this summer? That's what this billboard on the south side of 31st and Cornhusker Highway has printed on it, next to a picture of President Trump. Two websites plastered on the billboard as well. The first, stickershocksummer.org. It's run by a nonprofit based out of Washington, D.C. that engages in political advocacy. Right now, they're showing us how much higher gas, power, and even burger prices are compared to pre-war prices. The second website on the billboard told us more. Home of the Brave funded this billboard. Several high-profile political figures are attached to this project. Political strategist Sarah Longwell, vocal Trump critic Sarah Matthews, and Michael Fanone, who is famous for defending the U.S. Capitol during the January 6 attacks, just to name a few. At this time, we're reaching out to both organizations to find out why they chose to put this billboard in Lincoln, but have yet to hear back. Both that billboard and our citizen journalists are alerting us of higher gas prices here in the capital city.
Gas down here that used to be cheapest in town, they went up 20 cents.
Citizen journalist Kevin showing us $3.95 at this NP Mart, and citizen journalist Melanie showing us $3.99 at a Phillips 66. AAA says the nationwide average gas price right now for a gallon of regular sits right at $4. And we'll keep you posted as prices rise or come down, and as we get to the bottom of this billboard buzz. We are learning more about the U.S. budget in the war in Iran. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth facing some tough questions at the Senate Appropriations meeting today. He estimates the U.S. has spent $37.5 billion on the war so far. They also examined a review of the president's $87 billion emergency supplemental funding request, which will go to the military. Here's Hegseth responding to a statement from Senator Kirsten Gillibrand.
You are asking for unlimited money for bombs when people can't feed their families. And I don't know how this administration intends to defend those decisions to the American people.
Not unlimited bombs, Senator. I'm asking for the right bombs at the right time to ensure we can deter our adversaries into the future.
Some Senate Democrats on Tuesday calling out the Trump administration's handling of the war in Iran, accusing them of misrepresenting the number of casualties and widening the war as the lawmakers demanded more transparency. Meanwhile, the war there in Iran is in fact ramping up. Back and forth airstrikes are expanding across the region, and now the Iranian-backed Houthis in Yemen, are threatening to block Saudi oil from crossing the strait that connects the Red Sea to the Indian Ocean. The White House says it's monitoring.
Front in the war. We'll see what happens. So far, it hasn't happened. It might happen, but we take care of things. If something like that happens, we take care of it.
And tonight, CENTCOM says it has completed an 11th consecutive night of strikes on Iran. Well, right now, one of our congressional leaders is reacting to the push for reforming birthright citizenship. Senator Pete Ricketts saying today he's in favor of the Birthright Citizen Act, which would not grant the children of illegal immigrants citizenship. This is his take on the matter that he's releasing today. He says, quote, "Today, birthright citizenship is being exploited by bad actors and our adversaries. We are one of the only nations that lacks common sense guardrails on birthright citizenship." He adds he's proud to be an American, but becoming an American is not a privilege. It is a privilege, I should say, and not a right. All right, let's get a look at your first forecast on this Tuesday evening. A live look outside now on a pleasant evening after a much more pleasant day. After hitting 101 yesterday, it felt pretty good today, didn't it? Will it last? Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins to learn more. Rusty.
I think we're done with the triple digits for a while. That's kind of hard to get to around here with all the humidity we usually see in eastern Nebraska. But temperatures will warm back up, but not for a while. In fact, today, nice day. I went out for a walk with my wife and the dog earlier this evening. Absolutely fantastic. And temperatures today weren't bad. 86 in Lincoln, 88 in Beatrice, 87 for a high in Grand Island. Some 90s out there, but a little drier atmosphere further west allows that to happen. Outside in Beatrice, Shones Roofing looking at 6th and Perkins. It's a quiet evening, 73 comfortable degrees. The dew point is lower, it's at 63. A little bit of a breeze out of the northeast at 6 miles per hour. A lot of 60s and 70s. 71 in Lincoln, Nebraska City, Grand Island, Holdridge, all at 71 degrees. Even some 60s to the north. Dew points in the 50s and lower 60s, so that's making things a lot more comfortable. And that 24-hour temperature change is impressive. You usually don't see something like this in July unless we get a 100-degree temperature like we did yesterday. A couple of spot showers lingering in north central and northwest Nebraska. A lot of that not actually getting to the ground. Stormcast has those temperatures eventually dropping into the 60s early tomorrow morning. We may not make it to 80 tomorrow afternoon. So we'll talk more about that in the full forecast.
Thank you, Rusty. New at 10, a scary situation unfolding in Scotts Bluff. Police there responding to a call of a person trying to get into unlocked vehicles. The person was wearing a mask and a backpack. When the officers approached, they said he was going to shoot them and kill them. He ran off, but was eventually arrested and determined to be a mental health crisis. He's now in the hospital after a medical emergency that happened during the chase. Former Nebraska U.S. Senator Ben Sasse will be talking about his pancreatic cancer battle on CNN on Sunday. He's going to talk about his experimental treatment, which seems to be working well. Last December, he was given 3 to 4 months to live. He'll touch on lessons he's learned about life and death. It airs Sunday night on CNN at 7 o'clock our time. Well, right now, the community of York is honoring the memory of a beloved coach following his tragic death. Students and fellow staff paying tribute to a special person, the coach who wore several hats throughout his 46-year career at York schools, and now his impact lives on. Randy Johnson was a beloved track and field coach at York High School with a long history of being there for everyone. He died at the age of 70 in an ATV accident that happened yesterday, leaving a hole in the hearts of many. Our Danielle De Silva went to York today to speak with a colleague and a longtime student.
The pole vault strip here at York High School is about to be transformed by construction. But if you ask the students and teachers here, all they can see is the long-lasting legacy of Coach Randy Johnson, which they tell me will never be replaced.
We'd have Randy spot us and he'd stand right here, so we'd always see him right before we went up.
Before his sudden and tragic death while riding an ATV, Randy Johnson was a coach of 46 years. First a teacher at the York Middle School from 1980, then retiring to coach full-time in 2011, alongside track and field head coach Darryl Brands.
But he was very much a lot of tough love, but at the same time, every one of his athletes, he knew that he truly cared about them. Having
been a pole vaulter himself, Brand says that Coach Johnson's impact was far-reaching, that in his career, he helped achieve 38 individual state qualifiers, 32 medalists, and 4 championships. Also, Johnson took part in community events and summer camps, too.
Did a lot of things for a lot of athletes throughout the state. Didn't matter if it was track and field, it could be hunting, it could be fishing, it could be traveling. A sentiment that pole vaulter Carly Phillip could attest to. She was on the team for 6 years, starting in middle school and graduating this year.
I was so heartbroken.
She says he was a role model in every way, remembering how his words came to life for her at a track meet when she thought she'd broken her leg.
He's like, I need you to know you don't have to continue. He's like, I'm so proud of you. You don't need to keep going. And I looked at him, I was like, I'm going to jump one more time because I only had 1 attempt left. And I just gave it everything I had left, and I ended up making the bar able to go to state.
Just one example of many memories that Carly and many others will cherish forever. Reporting in York, Danielle De Silva, Channel 8 News.
And stay with us. We have more heading your way after the break, including painting progress. The mural in York is really taking shape, how close it is to being completed. And coming up in our morning shows, back to school bummer, how rising costs and artificial intelligence in schools are both making buying back to school supplies more difficult for parents. We take a deep dive into the Wallet Hub study in our morning show. So make sure you wake up with us so you can know what to look out for when you hit the stores in preparation for this upcoming school year.
Decent day today, temperatures a little below average. That will continue for a while. The forecast when we come back.
Right now, we're getting a sneak peek at a mural in York that we've been keeping a close eye on for you. We brought you the story last week of how this one woman is painting a massive mural on the side of a theater in York all by herself. In just over a month, she's been making some great progress. You're taking a look at the most recent part of it. As you can see, it's just about complete. Isn't that something? And it's already looking amazing. We'll make sure to bring you the finished project once the artist puts the finishing touches on it. New tonight, people were standing in a line stretching from a Sam's Club to a Walmart here in Lincoln. Everyone was waiting for the newest release of Pokemon cards as the rarity of these releases rise along with the resale value of the cards. This isn't uncommon for this current craze. Citizen journalist Leroy sending this video into our Now Local News app showing the length of this line. People hoping just for a chance to get their hands on the newest release. Sam's Club made a deal with their Plus members. They got early access to the cards today, and it was limited to 2 per membership. This is the biggest thing that everyone's trying to get their hands on. It's the Ascended Heroes Pokemon set containing about a dozen packs along with some collectible items. If you're trying to get one of these, they're probably already sold out given just how many people were standing outside of the stores today. Also tonight, a man is retiring from UNL after more than 5 decades on campus. Bill Manning right there. He's going to leave his position as operations manager for the parking and transit services on August 30th. There's going to be a reception in his honor from 3 to 5 p.m. on August 12th in the Nebraska East Union's Great Plains Room. He started full-time with the police department back in 1976 and transitioned to parking and transit services in 2003.
Now, your Storm Alert Team forecast with Chief Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins.
Such a nice day today. Temperature-wise, we were below average compared to where we were at yesterday when we were a solid 10 to 12 degrees above average, which is never good. It's like being 10 to 12 degrees below average in the dead of winter. So 10 to 12 degrees above average in the middle of summer is never really a good thing. But today, a little below average, and now we're looking at 48th and Cornhusker Highway. It's a comfortable evening out there. If you were able to get outside this evening for a walk or a round of golf or just to take the dog out, whatever, it was absolutely fantastic. So hopefully you were able to enjoy. Look at that, 71 for a temperature in Lincoln right now. 60s out there too. O'Neill and Columbus at 69, both at 69. 73 in Norfolk, one of the warmer spots. There are some 80s though, well off to the west. Around here though, right around 70 for just about everybody. Touch warmer in Hebron at 74 degrees, but you don't see blue on the map in July very often, but here we go, 10 to 20 degrees colder than we were 24 hours ago. Look at Aurora, 20 degrees colder, 18 degrees colder in Lincoln and Wahoo, 21 in Omaha. And the dew points, this has been probably the best part of this whole thing. Sure, it was a little warm, middle 80s, but when you have dew points right around that 60-degree mark, makes it so much better. And a light breeze out of the north, 5, 6, 7 miles per hour, that's about it, but just enough. A few clouds here and there, a couple of sprinkles over here just southwest of O'Neill. That's Garfield County, then over Cherry County, Sheridan County, over towards Sioux County and Chadron and Dawes County. But Stormcast doesn't have much of anything until about 6 in the morning. Might see a stray shower here. This usually doesn't really come to fruition, but this pretty good chance for some light to moderate rain in north central and northwest Nebraska. This all eventually comes into eastern Nebraska between 10 and noon tomorrow morning, and then into the afternoon. Here's noon, should be in eastern Nebraska. No severe weather, just light to moderate rainfall potential. Not everybody's going to see rain, and the rain that does fall, probably kind of light. This isn't a soaker. This is kind of what we had this morning, where it was a little bit, not a whole lot, just enough to get things, the grass wet. That was about it. Lingering showers, though, through the evening hours, then that goes away. Here comes another round. None of these are strong or severe. They're just scattered showers, maybe a rumble of thunder every now and then through early Thursday morning. A few light rain showers through the first half of the day on Thursday and into Thursday afternoon. How much rain are we talking about? Well, you'll have to get underneath one of those thunderstorms to see anything significant. But notice everybody's around 1/10 of an inch, but every now and then you see 1/4 of an inch here or 1/4 of an inch there. So there could be some spots that see a little bit more, but overall this isn't a soaker. But then we get another round on Thursday, and we could add another 1/10 of an inch here and there. Some heavier rain possible where they really need it in parts of western Nebraska. Temperatures tonight comfortable, middle 60s. Still a little bit of humidity, but not a whole lot. Look at this though. I don't think we're going to get out of the 70s tomorrow. That doesn't happen in July very often, especially when you get towards the second half of July, but we're going to see 76, 77, 78 degrees and dew points in the 50s. There's not very many top 10 days in July, but we have a chance Wednesday and Thursday. I mean, storms are in there, so I don't know, but then 80 on Friday, then 90s do come back. It is July after all, so 2 days in the 70s, then into the 80s, and then a lot of 90s headed our way after that. Another summer musical trivia for you here, Rod. Who sang the original Summer Breeze? Was it Seals and Croft, Simon and Garfunkel, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, or Hall & Oates?
Summer Breeze.
I know, it's a great song.
Makes me feel fine. You got to go Seals and Croft.
It was Seals and Croft, and that was back in 1972.
I was 6 years old. I remember it well. Thank you, Rusty. You may remember these pictures we showed you yesterday in Louisville. Parts of a road there bending and cracking because of the extremely high temperatures we had. Well, today they say a crew was out there working on that street at 3rd and Cherry, getting things patched up. They're asking people, though, to please drive safely around the construction while they finish everything up. Right now, researchers are shedding light on Nebraskans' awareness of artificial intelligence. UNL releasing a new study where they found most people in our state know about AI, but huge different rates when it comes to different age groups. Now, look at the findings here. 47% of Nebraskans say they've read or heard a lot about it, and 53% have not had much exposure. They say when it comes to age, a majority of those 19 to 44 are more knowledgeable compared to those 60 and above. Makes sense, right? Researchers also found the older generation is less accepting of AI, while younger generations are more open-minded about it. Well, caught on camera, some crazy videos we want you to see tonight, coming in today from across the country, including a heartwarming rescue. We begin in Maryland, where a missing 9-year-old boy with autism was safely rescued from a nearby body of water after a coordinated search involving several public safety agencies. The sheriff's office says when they found the child, a deputy immediately entered the water, swam to the boy, and brought him safely back to shore. Medical personnel checked him out before he was reunited with his family. Officials say he is doing well. Near Branson, Missouri, a driver fleeing police made a desperate attempt to escape and survived. Deputies say they were chasing a reckless driver when he suddenly jumped out and dove headfirst over the edge of a bridge. Police say when they found the suspect in the water, he head-butted deputies, injuring 3 of them. He's now facing multiple charges. And finally, look at this dramatic video showing the moment a garbage truck exploded in Milwaukee, injuring a sanitation worker. You can see the blast happen as the truck was compacting trash, sending one worker down to the ground with an eye injury and concussion. Officials say the explosion was caused by improperly disposed oxygen tanks. Police are investigating. Wow. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to be taking you into the sports zone once again tonight, right after the break. How the Lincoln Salt Dogs fared in their matchup against the Sioux City Explorers. That and a look at some high school rodeo championship action coming up next.
Late Sports Zone, powered by Green's Furnace and Plumbing. Here's Channel 8 News Sports. The Channel 8 News Sports Zone.
And welcome into the Sports Zone. Good to have you with us. We begin with some baseball action as the Lincoln Salt Dogs played tonight. It was their first of 3 games against the Sioux City Explorers this evening at Haymarket Park. The Dogs lost 9-1. Both teams are currently at the bottom of their divisions and are looking for any wins to try and climb up the ranks. By the way, tonight, anyone who brought 3 hygiene items for Center Point received a free general admission ticket. Now to some rodeo, which, yes, is a sport, and the National High School Finals are in town at the Sandhills Global Center. Let's take a look at some of the finishes from today. Azriel Lara of Montana has the highest marked bareback ride of the day at a 79 out of 100. Oakley Levitt of Utah tied a goat in 7.1 seconds. Rowdy Royal, I still love that name, marked a 77 in saddle bronc riding, a great score for the Missouri native. And Cams Rich is the highest marked bull rider of the day, 78 for the high schooler out of Utah. Some of the contestants were asked today who they are roadieing for, and here's what they had to say.
I'm doing this for my grandpa that just recently passed away in April. I'm here just to support my family and oh God, see, I can't do this. Just to prove to myself that I am capable of doing this and showing that this is who I am and that I am capable of just anything, and anyone is capable of anything.
I'm here rodeoing for all my friends, family, and all the people that come out here to support me.
And heartfelt messages from these high schoolers who are giving it their all on the national stage. If you're at the rodeo and you see anyone in a black cinch shirt tonight, they were wearing it for someone they lost who was close to them. Best of luck to all the competitors throughout the rest of this week. And the stage is set for the action to continue. Citizen journalist Brian sending us an aerial view of the packed rodeo grounds into our Now Local News app. If you're at the rodeo this week, hey, take us with you. If you scan the QR code on your screen, you can download the Now Local News app for free if you haven't already done it so. And if you send us videos, we're going to send you money in return. And finally, ESPN's computer models give the Nebraska Cornhuskers a 7.3% chance of making the 12-team college football playoff. The Football Power Index, as they call it, ranks Nebraska as the number 30th team in the country and projects they're going to have 6 to 7 wins this season. We'll have to see. That's going to do it for your Sports Zone tonight, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with a final check of your forecast. New at 10, the Grand Island area Habitat for Humanity is cranking out houses. We brought you this story a while back about how members of that group are participating in what they call blitz builds. They're attempting to build one home for the Habitat for Humanity every single week. Well, a great update from them today. They say they're making great progress on house number 125. They're giving a huge thank you to everyone that's participated in the builds and to one of their home buyers for providing their crews with cold drinks and snacks during their hot work days to help cool them down. Yeah, they've been out there during these, well, oppressive and dangerous temperatures here in the last few days. So you got to hand it to them. Hopefully they were out there today and again tomorrow, right, Rusty?
Yeah, it's they've got 3 days where they could maybe do double time because it is going to be very comfortable, especially those early morning temperatures in the 60s, maybe even some 50s out there. You can work hard with that kind of temperature. It's 70s out there right now for most of us, even some 60s showing up. Ainsworth, O'Neill, Columbus, all in the 60s. Tomorrow morning, lower middle 60s for most of us. Highs tomorrow, 70s. Maybe even some 60s for highs off to the north. Dew points will be comfortable in the 50s. That's a great day to be out and about. And we have 3 of those headed our way, but the heat and humidity does come back as we head towards the weekend. Small chance for rain on Monday.
Did you say tomorrow could be a top 10 day?
I think so. Yeah. Maybe even the next 3. There's rain chances, so, you know.
But for, you know, mid to later July, you know, put it in perspective,
That's
right?
what I'm saying.
Thank you, Rusty, and thank you for joining us. Andrew and Houston are going to be here bright and early at 5 o'clock. Join them. Jimmy Kimmel is coming up next.